Hi everybody, welcome to Talk O'Clock. My name is Sarah, I'm the artist behind Pinselgeschichten, and this has been my week. So let me start off with a couple of things. For one, I have to check my footage what I recorded to remember what the week was like. Yay, brain, huh? So this week it was kind of all about coloring and nerding out and a little bit of healthcare. So let's get the healthcare info out of the way before I get into the footage that I'm going to show you. So I had said that we were trying to get long-term care for Jörn, and that I think I had mentioned we had a lawyer's appointment. So we made an appointment with my lawyer this week. We had that appointment, and after long talks with him, it seems that we can't do anything aside from putting thousands of euros into getting that case before the courts, and that would take a long time and a lot of money, which frankly Jörn doesn't have at this point. So I can't go too much into detail because that will affect future things for him, and I just want to keep that part private. But he suggested a different kind of a way to go about things and revisit the topic in maybe a year or two. So it wasn't only bad news on that appointment, but certainly not the news we had hoped for. But what he suggested is very workable for us, especially for Jörn, since, well, it's his life. So we went away from that appointment with a different kind of a new hope. Sorry to be so vague, but I can't share details of that particular part. But yeah, a solution has been provided for the foreseeable future, and yeah, now Jörn just has to decide if he wants to do that and maybe go for it. So that whole topic of getting long-term care is done for now. It's not something that I have to have in my head all the time. We're well, pursuing a different kind of a path, and I'm actually curious how it works out. Maybe I can tell you one day, but like I said, for the foreseeable future, that's not a possibility, so I'm just gonna end that topic here. So there's your final chapter on long-term care for Jörn. Yeah, what else? This week, like I said, had a lot of coloring, because it's the 30-day coloring challenge by Kathy Rack. I think that's her name, at least that's her Instagram handle. And that's where I follow her, because she colors very nicely and she's a lovely lady, and she puts together the 30-day coloring challenges like twice a year-ish, I think. Sometimes it's 3 times a year, but mostly twice a year. And it's March, and she had chosen March for the next one. So I'm participating, and I started off with coloring in the PlayStation coloring book. And it is this particular page of God of War. can, woo, I'm losing my voice. So you can see the daily progress on Instagram. I'm posting what I colored in a day. And if you want to have some more information about the coloring challenge itself, go to my Instagram and you will see the hashtag, the daily marker 30 day. And if you go to that hashtag, you will find out lots and lots of information about it. And you can join in whenever you like, even if it's day 30. So I enjoyed myself a lot. I wanted to get some progress done on that page for a long time. Didn't have the time for it. So yay, coloring challenge. It came at the perfect time. And yeah, I've just been enjoying it. Particularly because I had somebody watching one day. So I'm going to show you a couple of clips of footage in a minute. But I don't know yet what I'm gonna call this vlog, but it's in relation to the title of the vlog. I happen to not be single anymore. I know your mind is blown totally. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to my new partner. I don't want to call him boyfriend because that sounds so weird at my age. I've been talking to him. Okay, so what do you think? Because I do have a social media platform, or 2 or 3. How do you want to play this? Do you want me to keep it totally private, or can I share? If I can share, what can I share? Talk to me. So we've been chatting about it on and off for a couple of weeks now, and the final decision was, you know, if it's in relation to my person, you can decide what you want to share, because I trust you to share only what you want to share. And he's so right about that. Even if I share a lot, I still keep very many things private, because I don't think they have to live on the internet. Sebastian, you've seen him in, I think, 2 vlogs now. There was footage of him and I spending time together. Is my new partner, my better half, whatever you want to call it, and I'm blushing really hard right now. We met about a year ago. Yeah, April 2019 we met, and pretty much instantly hit it off. So like really just had a connection, and we're goofballs, both major nerds in different kinds of departments. So talking to each other was really easy and a lot of fun, and we got to know each other a lot. Played lots and lots of board games together, and role-playing games. So yeah, let's just say we spend a lot of time together. He is pretty much Jan's best friend and also goes to university with him. So that's where I met him. That's how I got to know him. And he's been, aside from Jan, one of my closest friends, if not the closest friend. Well, for about a year now, and we've been dancing around the topic of getting together romantically, being a couple, for a while. I guess, and here's a little tidbit for you, it is really scary to fall in love again and allow a new relationship to happen if your previous one didn't end well. And the previous one not being only a relationship, but a marriage. And you being the person, so you is me in this case, being the person having a disability and kind of an age gap with your potential partner, that's kind of scary. It is also kind of scary for the other person, I have to say. Or at least that's what he told me. So we've been dancing around that topic for quite a while before we decided, okay, 2020 is the year, let's be brave or do nothing at all, ever. And we decided to be brave and make this a relationship with all the good things, all the bad things, all the challenging things, all the unknown things, but just go for it and enjoy, well, a lovely relationship. I'm still blushing. This is not a TechVid era flush. This is blushing like big time. So yeah, we've been a couple for a while. Da, 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 da. And we've been hanging out a lot, spending lovely hours together, nerding big time. Yeah, about, well, books. We both love reading books. He's just as big as a bookworm as I am. So we shared our favorite stories, and I'm currently reading one of his favorite series. So, and it's lovely, and I have to get back to the book because I want to know what the story will be like in a couple of pages. And I hate it when I don't have time for that. But we've also been talking a lot about any kind of art. So he happens to be very interested in my artwork. I painted a painting for him summer last year, I think. Yeah, he commissioned a piece in I think it was July or August. I don't know. So ever since we've been talking a lot about art, especially mini painting, because that's what we both like to do as well. So he's painting his army for Warhammer 40k currently, and we've just been exchanging tips and tricks and how to do things and how color works and contrast and depth and all, highlighting, shading, blah blah blah, all of that on the minis. And I've been, well, painting a mini since you maybe haven't watched the last vlog, so now you know. I started with the color scheme of a part of his army and said, okay, this is the first mini, and now all the others have to follow along in the same coloring scheme. And we've been just enjoying talking about painting and art and tabletop games, role-playing games, all of that. So that is a very lovely basis for a relationship, I think, if you have shared hobbies that you really, really enjoy and that you know take a lot of time. So you are very willing to either spend that time together or allow the other person to have me time and just enjoy the hobby. And we've been actually also painting this week, but I'm probably, no, I don't know how to cut my vlog yet, so I have to decide now. Well, I'm gonna insert the footage of last night's mini painting. We've been watching Battlestar Galactica while painting. That's why the background of the room is so dark. So sorry for any not so great lit footage. But I restarted, he kind of ish started Battlestar Galactica, because I've been making lovely Cylon jokes for months now, and he said, okay, I gotta get back into the show, let's watch it together and paint while we do. So that's what's been happening last night, and I really enjoyed it. I did work on the Termagant that I had started painting last week. A little more, just very tiny, minute little details. We've just been painting for 45 minutes yesterday because there was only so much time, and I'm gonna tell you why in a hot minute. But I've been getting down some of the flesh colors and eye color and all of that, shading a bit on the legs and the claws. And the next thing I have to do is paint the weapon, and after that it's only shading and highlighting, and then the first figurine is done. The first mini is ready to have its base colored, and I totally forgot that I might have to do that as well. I have to ask him if he wants to do the bases or not, if I should come up with a idea with a color scheme or something. I have to remember now. So Sebastian, if you watch, when you watch this, if you watch this, I don't know, let me know, should I color the base of the Mini, or is that gonna be your job? So yeah, we've been spending a lot of time with painting Warhammer minis, and we've also been spending time with another role-playing game. So on Saturday, which was the beginning of this week, I actually met up with his family. Partially for the first time, partially I already knew them, because they wanted to have another player for DSA, and which is another role-playing game, and it was suggested that I'd come over and play his sister's character, see if I like the system of the game, if I like the way the characters are built, if I like the way the group plays a campaign, and I have to say, I loved it. I so enjoyed myself. I almost killed his sister's character, but I healed her, and she's all good. But this week we've been also starting, that's why we didn't have a lot of time for coloring or painting the minis on date night. We've been building my own character, because I'm definitely gonna join the campaign, I'm definitely join the group. It's lovely to meet up every other weekend, play a couple of hours with like the whole family, parents, sister, aunt, grandpa, grandma, and the two of us, and just, well, being really goofy and, well, silly sometimes, really just silly, and still playing a wonderful campaign with very decent role-playing. So everybody getting into character, everybody having voices, yelling in a different kind of a voice if they have Wheaton's disease, and just suck on their role, which never happened. On Saturday, no, it never happened. So yeah, that's what we've also been doing. I'm not gonna talk a lot about the character I chose, but we built like most of it, I'd say 3/4. So we've been spending a couple of hours of putting my character together, and she's called Leoline, and I like her a lot. I'm probably gonna paint her, because I have a very set picture in my mind of what she looks like and what kind of body language she has with the story that, well, Sebastian and I gave her. So I'm really looking forward to the next gaming session, and well, bringing her onto the field and have her join the group. That was very lovely. And it's also a nice thing not to only play board games, but to have a regular role-playing group added to my nerd groups, it being art or board gaming, doesn't matter, but all the nerd groups. Having a new one added with very lovely people, very funny people, quite sarcastic, which I like a lot. That's just a very nice thing. So, yay, awesome. Life is good, guys. What else did I do? Let me look at the footage. Oh yeah, I had said that while I was coloring on, when was the 1st of March? Sunday. 1st of March, I started with a coloring challenge, and Sebastian said, oh, can I please watch while you color? Because I've been watching over his shoulder while he was painting the minis, and we were talking. He said, can I please watch while you do 2D art? And I say, okay. Feels kind of weird and uncomfortable because that's kind of my space and maybe the camera space, so all the viewers on the channel, but okay, I'm having somebody sit there with me. But we actually, again, enjoyed ourselves and had a lot of art technique, color technique talks, or how to really make sure your contrast is right on things, or the physical or the physics aspects of artwork or painting, it being 2D or 3D, doesn't matter. So I had a very lovely start of the coloring challenge. Very, very enjoyable, though being kind of weird in the beginning. It's like, there's somebody in my space. Now how do I not get distracted, but keep on focusing on my coloring page and what pencil I want to use next? So still getting used to that. I haven't had that in years. So yes, I can say years because it's plural, and I think it's been 2 years, 2.5 years maybe. So I have to get used to that again, but it's also very... homecoming is maybe the wrong word, but do you know what I mean? When you feel like, oh, this is very comfortable, though it's weird in the beginning, but this is comfortable. This is like coming home. This is something that I know. This is something I know I enjoy. So it's that kind of a feeling that happened a lot over the last couple of weeks, which made me very happy for one, very goofy, very relaxed, and quite inspired. So the list of art day ideas I got just doubled within 2 weeks. So now I just gotta find time to do them all. But yeah, other than that, all the romantic stuff of the relationship is also very lovely. I'm not gonna talk too much about him or his personality right now. Like, I'm not gonna show him like, ta-da, that's his dating profile. I will probably tell things like here and there in the vlogs whenever they come up, but I'm not gonna present him to you that way. I mean, I presented him like, yeah, he's in my life. I'm, yeah, no longer single. What was really scary, I had said in the beginning, and that is something I had hinted at in a previous vlog, that I probably at one point will have a keep dancing video about that, and that is dating and falling in love with a disability, MS in this case. What that entails for me as the person being disabled, what you might want to think about, or what weird thoughts come into your head right away, or just are in the back of your mind, and how it is for the other person, if it's intimidating, scary, like, yeah, no deal whatsoever. I think that could be a nice episode for Keep Dancing. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. And I wanted to say something else. Oh yeah, what I'm probably won't, do I put it in Keep Dancing? Because it has nothing to do with disability. There's another kind of scary thing, and that is just, I know it's society, and I guess our brains just have to recalibrate and say, yeah, sure, totally fine. But dating with a bigger age gap between partners is kind of weird. I mean, it's totally socially acceptable to have like a woman of 20-something years date somebody who's 40-something years. It being male or female doesn't matter. What I think where we as society are on a good path but not there yet is if a woman such as myself in her late 30s is dating somebody who's 25. You very quickly get the cougar kind of a hat put onto your lovely head and hair. Luckily for us, that is not the case with our friend group because, and I know now I have to brag a bit. I'm not bragging on myself, I'm bragging on my lovely friends being awesome. If they have to guess how old I am, I'm always guessed to be 26, 27. So more than 10 years younger than I actually am. So that's like a huge compliment. Again, blushing like big time. But it seems that in my personality or my mind, like the way I am, aside from that dumb number on my ID card, I seem to be younger. And he seems to be older. So this is a weird experience. And I don't know, I mean, if we don't think about it, it's like, yeah, there's no age gap whatsoever. But if people meet us and they ask, oh, and what do you study? It's like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm like way past that road. It's still a little weird for us to say. And on the other hand, it is weird to see people's reactions. Not judgmental, we didn't have that yet, but it made me think about how we, as a society, think about partnerships and dating and what is socially acceptable and what isn't. And again, this is not as strict and tight and like you have to go down that path or otherwise you're a bad human. It's not like that anymore. It hasn't been for 20 years, I'd say, ish, I guess. Am I right? But it is still, it's not frowned upon, but it's maybe looked at weirdly, or people give you the what kind of a look. That's something that is quite intimidating when you are at that stage between being friends and being a couple, deciding, okay, do I want to go down that road? Not. Can I handle this? Can I handle that? Yada, 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 yada. That this thought of, oh, she's so much older than I am, or oh, he's so much younger than I am, that people think about that when they decide, okay, let's go for being a couple and let's just go with the feelings and not with the logic. It's weird. It went by pretty fast with us, so I'd say maybe a couple of weeks that we took our time and really thought about it hard. But in the end decided, you know, it's our life. So we decide what makes us happy and we decide what we want to have in our lives. But at the same time, it is weird to even have that thought. And that is something I hadn't realized before because, well, I didn't see the age difference. I mean, I knew he was younger. He knew I was older. A lot. But we didn't see it because we don't think about that. But having the reactions of people around us who meet us for the first time as a couple, it's like, yeah, oh, that's how people's minds work. This is what they find to be normal, and we're obviously not. So do we have to explain ourselves? Don't we? I think we don't. But every so often I feel obligated to say, okay, yes, it's the age difference on paper, but it's not in our mind. So, because, well, we behave like 12-year-olds, the both of us, so just saying. But yeah, that was a weird experience over the last couple of weeks. And another thing was feeling weird to put it on the internet. Which usually I'm very comfortable with what I put on the web, because I think about it beforehand. Do I want to share it? Do I not want to share? I have a certain kind of a framework of what stays absolutely private in my life, and that is mostly like family. I'm not going to share anything about my mom's life or my brother's life, because yes, you know, they exist. But there's not going to be a photo, a video, a name, or anything else, because I feel it's not my place to share that. It's their lives, and I'm not going to touch it. And yes, you Americans, many of you, not all of them, I don't want to generalize here. I know the culture is a little different for you when it comes to putting a camera into somebody's face. Us Europeans are very old school with that, so I'm not even asking them if they would be okay to be on my channel or anything. But yeah, okay, weird noise of the neighbors done. Where was I? Oh yeah, it felt really weird to decide, okay, how am I gonna put that on my channel, because it is a very significant thing in my life, and since this is kind of like my diary, I want to put it on the web, but in what way am I gonna do that? How am I gonna tell? When am I gonna tell? Just thinking about that was really weird, and I just realized, hold on, I was distracted for a second. So that was something very new to me. I guess I made the right decision at the right point. I mean, it's right for me, so it's right for him. So that's totally fine. And I'm going to leave you now with these wonderful or so not interesting news, whatever it is to you, you decide. But I'm going to leave you now to have a wonderful weekend. There's a lot of work I have to do this weekend, and a lot of filming. Oh, I forgot one thing, filming. I've been talking to Jan this evening in regards to Board Game Island, because the last episode that I had on stock was just published. It's the mint condition video, in case you haven't seen it and you're curious. It's a lovely game. And we've been talking about how to proceed with him being still ill-ridden and going to the outpatient program clinic, I think next week, yeah, next Tuesday. How are we going to move forward with Board Game Island? And we both decided we are going to come back with a show once the outpatient program ends. And once we can have our normal schedule when it comes to filming. We're going to play a lot of games on the weekends meanwhile, and go through a lot of games that I bought at Essen, and we're going to enjoy them. But we're going to bring back that show only after he's back from the outpatient program and a little more energized and stable and can focus on other things than just the outpatient program, because that is honestly priority number one for him and for me as well, because the both of us want him to get better as soon as possible and stay as healthy as possible for a very, very long time. So he has to invest the time. I'm guessing that it will take about 10 weeks to have the program finished. It might be that I'm gonna drop in a couple of solo episodes where I talk about maybe cooperative games or solo campaigns of games, something like that. I haven't decided that yet, how I'm going to proceed, but just know that the show is only on hiatus, and once he's back and healthy, we will be back filming and enjoying a lot of board games. So now I'm gonna let you go. I'm hoping you enjoy your weekend. I hope you have something lovely planned. Maybe some coloring, maybe some gaming, maybe some painting or taking photographs of lovely things, going out and enjoying the very recent spring weather, or just meeting up with friends. Whatever it is that you do, enjoy it. Make sure you stay safe and healthy. Take care of your mental health. I can't stress that enough. I really can't. Make sure that you are as well as you can be. If you have a loved one, kiss them on the cheek and just say, like, I got reminded that this is what new love looks like, and this is how scary it can be for other people. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you now. Thank you very much for watching. Questions, comments, comment section is yours. Keep them coming. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'm gonna see you next Saturday on this format. Take care, guys. Bye.